All right, guys, welcome to Alkalize Realize Talk Show. This is going to be my first interview, and I'm very excited, very happy to have a very special, beautiful guest of mine, Harry Matadine, because we are simply speaking the same language of raising our uh, internal to raise our energy, frequency, and vibration. And so I'm very happy to have you here with us, Harry. Welcome.
Niels, thank you very much for having me, brother. And I'm pleased to be interviewed. I'm pleased to be your first person you've interviewed, and I'm looking forward to sharing knowledge with you today and going back and forth and really let's smash some beautiful information and raise vibrations. So I'm ready.
Yeah, man, let's do it. I'm totally on it, and it's very funny because you always seem to be like the one doing the interview. So, and now you are being interviewed. So I'm very. It's great. I think for me, for one of the first questions that I have for you is, what got you into the position that you find yourself in right now? You have been doing so much work in the health community. So, what brought you into it?
Thanks, brother. That's a great first question. So, um, it's one of those you can talk forever about. To kind of a long story short, like I'm like probably like most of the people watching yourself, broken at some point, and a position of my brain was just all over the place. I was depressed, suicidal, didn't want to be here, didn't have anyone to help me, didn't like people, didn't love myself, hated other people, didn't know about physical health, didn't know it was possible self-improvement. I didn't even know self-improvement was impossible, let alone physical health. I didn't know that it was possible to really transform your consciousness in this lifetime. I just thought I was getting worse, but didn't realize you could get better. So I guess to answer the question, I was all the bad things and really negative and really a dark human being.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault, right? It's never our fault, to be honest. We just didn't know. But I was dark, and yeah, I don't look as if I woke myself up. I mean, a series of synchronicities and coincidences led to me meeting the right people at the right time, giving me the right books, and me being broken enough to think, okay, I'm open-minded. I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to try everything to fix myself.
Yeah. Definitely. That's exactly my experience as well, going through a lot of darkness, especially during my childhood, like having no friends, being bullied all the time, and just being all together with myself. So I can definitely relate. Like, it's like the duality of like darkness and light, it brings like together, and then you just suddenly like, okay, I need to do something other than what is being acknowledged by society, because it doesn't seem to work at all. So
yeah, and to go one stage further, I think a problem with a lot of people that are living in this world that can't understand what we're talking about, the truths that we are going to speak about, and that people already know we speak about, in, like, for example, urine therapy, Sungazing, all the things we're going to get into, colon cleansing, fasting. The reason why I feel, I might be wrong here, it's just my opinion, is because they haven't got to that stage of being broken enough. There's kind of like a middle ground where they're kind of happy, but they're not really happy, but they're not really depressed either. And that's really a dangerous place to be, because you won't, not only will you not have your own journey, but you won't be acceptable to other people's opinions of being open-minded. You'll be dogmatic, likely closed-minded, and we know people like this in our life. Everybody does.
Yes.
So,
yeah, and I think it's also the greatest misconception is to listen to other people. We should always listen to ourselves, our inner voice, and to follow our own intuition. Like I've been following a lot of people online, and someone brought me to the to Iridology, because the eyes is a reflection of the body, the state that we're in. Like, it's being said that we are either born with brown or blue eyes, and of course there are kids born with different eye colors, but it really comes down to toxicity and energy blockages and stuff we have been accumulating through our whole life, and also we have gained from our mother, depending on her lifestyle. So that is, I think that's a really good startup point to have.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Let's talk a little bit about Iridology. So yeah, you're right. I think there's many tools that we've got that we know about that can show reflections of where the human body's at. Like, we've got reflexology, for example, hands and feet. Like, when you massage your hands and feet, that's got the whole organs of the body too. But say you feel sore in one particular area, like say I feel sore in this bit, you can go on the eye hand reflexology chart and go, okay, what's that connected to? I think that's connected to the colon, by the way, the tops, the head,
Yeah.
fingers of the head. So there we go. You can feel pain, right, in certain areas, so you can work out. Well, the same with what you mentioned in Iridology, that there'll be scarring, or like it should be ideally in a perfect person, all pure colors and no scarring and you know, whatever the word is for it, just look pure. But because of iridology, we can tell, okay, look, this is a weak area on my left iris above. Now I can work on my colon. My colon's junked up. Oh, look, my kidneys are weak. So yeah, I think iridology is very powerful. And do you know what? I'll be honest with you, Niels, I've procrastinated on that one. I need to pay money and get that done at some point, because that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have a good overview because you've been doing so much health stuff for years. So your standing point is a lot better versus like from when you started. But for me, like I did the iridology and I was having a jogged my crotch, and she was like, "Yeah, I can see like in this area it relates to you this area, and you are having a lot of toxins." So it's like, so for me, I was doing a lot of dry fasting, juice fasting, and stuff like that to really allow my body to clean and heal itself, because we are like a computer, and so we can continue to download information and data, but if we are not like allowing this computer, this vessel to deal with it, like, you know, we provide it too much food, we don't give it enough sunlight, we provide it with, you know, in general, foods that are low on water. So it takes more water from our body, making it a lot more inefficient to actually deal with the waste. So hydration is key here, and as well as, you know, dry fasting, just to let the body deal with whatever has to be dealt with. So yeah, I think I would like to head on and ask you, so you've been doing a lot of healing and detox protocols throughout, you know, for the years. And so what has been what detox symptoms have you gone through, and what have you has been your biggest challenges on that?
Wow. So I started physical health 3 years ago with urine therapy. And I from pretty much nothing, I was drinking bottled spring water, and I was drinking quite a lot of bottled spring water because the doctors tell you need to drink 4 liters a day. I think that's the mainstream advice. So I was drinking a lot of crap water. And actually off air, we were talking about how I used to get itchy at nighttime because of the bottled spring water, and I was drinking so much of it, the inorganic minerals, which I believe is true. You know, that came out. So yeah, 3 years ago, I started with urine therapy from pretty much nothing, and was doing a little bit of meditation before, and the detox journey happened instantly with urine therapy. Oh, and with fresh urine too. So yeah, that was a very an indication of how unhealthy I was, I think. I've forgotten this, so thanks for reminding me and get to talk about it. It's cool. I started with small amounts of first the morning urine. It wasn't enough to give me too much of a detox, but what I did was I knew it was removing my depression. I knew it worked. I was excited. So I drank more, maybe about half a liter of my fresh urine. Even with cooked foods and crap I was eating at the time, really bad foods I was eating. And yeah, I drank it. And then what I noticed is my bowels just, the thunder, bro, like the Red Sea's parted and the bowels can't hold on to the poo. And like, you just need to go to the toilet 20 times a day. Yeah. And that happened for quite a few days of just non-stop. It was like I had so much junk and toxicity in my bowels that the detox was extreme. And I liked it. You know, it was diarrhea, but it was detox diarrhea, and it was because I'd never ever drank any pure water like urine therapy. I was on crappy water.
Yeah, exactly. It's what the body's doing. Like, you know, when we drink and stuff like that, and we pee it out, you know, it has been the fluid, the liquid is living water, and it has been filtered through all the organs of the body. So when we get this pure water, you could say the body, for the first, the body recognizes it right away. And so when you drink it, it allows the body actually to send it straight where it needs to go. Like, for instance, the bowels. If we've been eating a lot of food, like for a whole life, all the time, and we are just so full of, you know, feces, and we have constipation, we feel pain in our stomach, and that is really due to dehydration, because we are eating so much, you know, we have been eating so much food that are low on water, and we don't actually allow our body to deal with it. Because what I also notice is that I only eat like maybe once a day, but
Mm.
depending on what kind of food we eat, especially those that are low on water, it takes about 48 to 72 hours to get through the whole system.
Mm, yes, agreed. That's crazy. That's why. That's one of the reasons why I do believe fruits is our optimal diet, because I'm sure,
Yes.
like yourself, whenever I do that, whenever I go on fruits with like an oranges or apples, you think apples don't have a lot of water. You'll be surprised. Anyway, when I eat apples, oranges, and fruits, even if it's like before I eat some cooked after, but the fruits first, so it doesn't get lodged in the stomach. Anyway, I noticed that my constipation gets relieved, or my bowels work even more efficiently whenever I eat fruits, and it's because
Yeah.
I think of the high water content plus the fiber. And yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I love actually what you're spreading knowledge on, because I'm learning from you on constipation and aged
Yeah.
urine and the gut. These three things, and coconut water too, but hydration as well. These are important topics that not enough people understand, and people get confused, because you also mentioned something else about dry fasting, and people get confused a little bit with dry fasting and will say that isn't that dehydration, and you've got to be careful how you think about that, because actually
Yes.
when clean people do the work like ourselves to bypass detox somewhat, actually dry fasting becomes, in a way of looking at it, ultimate hydration. But that's only because we put in the work for a couple of months and years of drinking urine,
Yes.
distilled water, fruits, fasting, grounding, sunlight. Only because of that, we can experience the benefits of dry fasting so profoundly and realize that
Yeah.
ultimate hydration comes from the human body. So,
Yeah, exactly. And especially for me, for the last half a year, I've been on a liquid diet. And so when I go into eat bread, grains, like processed cooked foods and stuff like that that has very low water content, I get instantly thirsty. So like
yeah.
I for me, like the main reason we get so dehydrated is because of
Mm,
the food we eat. And it's being said that fruit contains up to 92% of water. So
yep.
it actually allows things to flow within our body, And they say like the doctors, oh, we are 70% water beings, and so we really need hydration. Like food with very low amounts of water is very bad for us, actually.
Yeah.
So
I agree. And to add a little bit onto that, not only do fruits have water, they have structured water, which isn't just a phrase we bandy around. What it means is that it's whereas you could argue for a machine, it's dead water, it's got no structure in it. What the structuring does is it amplifies the detox process, and it hydrates the cells better, and it detoxes you quicker. So it's
yeah.
special water that we're talking. It's not just ordinary water. It's not even ordinary distilled water from a machine. It's actually structured water, which is uber powerful when we eat the fruits. So
Yeah,
that's one amazing thing with that. Mm.
exactly. And also another thing that is really quite a challenge for people when they do a dry fast is because as well, if it's just full of garbage, full of old feces and stuff, if we are not well hydrated, it takes too much of our energy, our gut, our digestive system. It takes all the energy, and so the detox symptoms can get quite harder, as well as we have a lot of toxins in our stomach. So for me, what I really like to do, and what I would say encourage everybody to start with if they're going into dry fasting and stuff like that, don't just rush into it. I would
Mm.
say, for instance, like go on a liquid diet. You can drink like distilled water, coconut water, fresh made juice, and if you're up to do it, like to get the purest water is your own urine. For one
Yeah.
week, doing at least 4 liters a day to really provide the body with the hydration and the flow it requires to basically get rid of most feces, and it will also dissolve most of the constipation. And
Mm.
so we can basically then after 1 week we can do like let's say 2 liters of coconut water, and then we do 1 to 1.5 liter of aged urine. But
Mm.
of course, I like to make things as easy as simple as possible, and I like as many people as possible to get on the wagon. So
Mm.
one could even do like 5 liters of coconut water, like within 2 hours, and that
Wow.
will
Yeah.
that will really give like
Mm.
a good flush of the whole gut, because the body
Mm.
takes what it requires, and the rest goes out through the butt. Otherwise, let's say if we're drinking too much. Okay, then I have noticed before, like my legs start to swell up and becoming really tense, like,
Yeah, you've talked about this. So when you
yeah.
drink too much, your legs are getting like stressed out.
Well, they're swelling up because the liquid, it has to go somewhere, and
Right.
so it goes with gravity. And if the
Mm.
body is already full, it starts with the legs, so it goes very tense.
Yeah, and it gets fat then. It gets really swelled up and fat than normal.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I can't imagine me and you with fat legs. Like, it's like, what the hell's happened? You drank too much water, bro. Do you
Just
also
drink.
do you also find that drinking too much water, for me, what I can feel viscerally is I feel heavier inside my body. I literally feel, it sounds ridiculous. I literally feel heavier, like I put on weight. Did you get that feeling when you drank too much?
Oh yeah, of course.
Mm.
Of course, I can definitely feel it, and I also feel like because I'm so healthy and clean, and I'm on the liquid diet pretty much,
Mm.
I just feel like taking in less is better for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like we said, and actually, if I can go back a little bit, because you made me think of something. It's not about the rush, like you said. It's not about going from, like, say you were on standard American diet, say you're on a good diet, but you eat like 3 meals a day plus snacks, and then you want to dry fast for 18 hours a day and eat 1 meal a day for or 2 meals a day. From, you can't rush the process. You can, but
yeah,
most likely you won't stick with the process and you won't enjoy what you're doing. The whole point of what we're talking about and what everyone should be doing is you should be
yes,
improving on yourself. Like Neil said, you go slowly from this. You do something like a juice fast for a time. It
yes,
doesn't mean you deprive yourself. Don't start the dry fast straight away. Go from juice
no,
fast, get used to juice fasting, get used to a bit of water fasting, get used to maybe from 3 meals to 2 meals a day, 2 meals to 1 meal a day. Then you can even do dry fasting and 1 meal a day.
yeah,
There's no rush for anybody. And I'm sure, Niels, you're the same. I did not rush my process. I take it, I'm 3 years in, I'm still learning and improving, but I've taken my
yeah,
time. I've not rushed anything. I've not gone
yeah,
straight in. Hmm.
exactly. And for me as well, I've been on this journey for 1.5 years ever since I started doing a detox cleansing protocols. Yeah,
Can I ask you
that's
how was your detox? Do you remember the beginning stages of? Did you have a rough ride at the very beginning when you got into this stuff, or was it quite? Did you
yeah,
reach
yeah.
early
It
enough? I think.
has. It has been quite rough. I've been trying everything. I've been trying, the old traditional Western diet, going vegetarian, going vegan, and then going fruitarian, and I've been going back and forth. So,
Mm.
but for me, I started out with I was getting my iridology. I can highly recommend it to everyone so they can get an overview of the state of the body, as well as to get some pH stickers. So you can actually measure the pH level of your urine, your morning urine, because it will give you an indication of how much oxygen or you have in your body, or if it's actually acidic, because an acidic body
Mm.
is in a degenerative state. So we
Mm.
really want to give it some alkaline foods, alkaline water like fruits and stuff to charge it with life force energy. Otherwise,
Mm.
we get cancer because a
Definitely,
body.
bro. So with pHs in the morning, what do we want? We don't want it too acidic. Like, is high acidic really bad for us? Because I'm learning too. I still don't know one of these things
Well,
fully.
I think the more acidic it is, the worse it is. 7 is neutral. So if it's below 7,
Mm.
then you are in an acidic state. And of course, it's not to be. It's not because we have to be frightened or scared of it. It's just an indication of okay, what we have to work on.
Yeah.
Uh,
And also thinking about that, that's kind of cool actually. That you're, in a way, it's kind of cool your pee is acidic because it's coming out of you,
yes,
that urine.
yes,
And if people say, okay, and you could argue, well, don't want to drink my fresh urine because I just tested the pH like Neil said and it was pH free. But I'll say this, well, capture it in a bottle, and we know, guess what happens when you capture a pH
yes.
free, really acidic urine? It's going to turn alkaline in like a few days and weeks, guaranteed. Right?
Yeah. Have you tried actually measuring it like after 1 week?
I used to do that a lot, and I had a pH meter and it broke. Yes, I used to do it, and it took me 7 days. 7 days, and it would go to pH 9, and then
Okay.
a week later, yeah, very quickly. And I think that's not common because I think I'm cleaner than a lot of people that are on the urine therapy course that just started UT. So I think for most people beginning that are new to this, it will take 2 or 3 weeks to get to. But it does. That's not long. 2 or 3 weeks, we're saying, and you get to a pH 11, really powerful. But for me, yeah, it depends on the person how quickly. It doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
right? How quickly, as long as it's getting alkaline, that aged urine, we know it's going to give us oxygen, like you said. It's going to give us
Yes.
negative ions. It's going to increase its
Yes, negative ions, because we're just so exposed to positive ions, which we will come into later. But yeah, I think along my healing journey, I've been healing myself from joggage in my crotch by doing the juice fasting and dry fasting. It's been really good because I've had it for many years, where I was basically receiving antibiotics. So if you have some biotics, it's life. But if you put anti in front of it, then it goes against life, against your own body. So you actually want some pro-life for your body. Oh, I seem
They
to
give us
lose.
clues, don't they, bro? They give us clues that the pharmaceutical
Yeah,
companies, it's in the title, antibiotics, but we still don't listen. No, everyone listens to that.
exactly. It's all in the language, and if we are just willing to look up the Latin definition and look into it, etymology, we get all the answers we need. We are being told everything we have been exposed to, but we just happily just rush in and jump into it without asking questions, because they are authority when we are the actually real authority. So people,
Exactly. Here's a little one etymology too. Doctor, to doctor something is to change, to falsify. That's what it means in etymology. To doctor something means to fake
yeah,
it. It's kind of
yeah,
interesting.
and we can also, yeah, wow, that's very interesting. And also people can just look up the definition of pharmacy, and I'm not going to mention it here, but
Oh, that's good. I'll look that one up. Very interesting.
it's a very good one. Just to search it. So, but I think one of the biggest challenges for me along the detox journey has been like because it's a very it requires a lot of energy, and it requires time. It requires to be persistent when you go into a detox cleaning on a raw diet. I was doing a lot of work at my job at the same time, so it's really a bad idea, because what we really need to do is to rest our body, relax, sleep, get well hydrated. And because I was working too much, like I my mentality started to drop like insane, like to a point where I almost got fired from my work, because I wasn't able to think, remember, or just to remember what people were telling me, and I would say like the same thing over and over and over again. So I that's to just um, relax, chill, do breathing exercises, sleep, sun gazing, because yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you can bring some light on that.
Yeah, just to reinforce and agree completely with what you said. When you're in an environment that's stressful, like your work, job, or even not stressful, but it requires your brain functions to be an optimal, you've got to be careful about going too deep, because we know when we dry fast, especially when we do all these powerful health protocols, long fasting, even juice fasting for a long time, we're going to be going through deep healing, and it's not advisable because when the toxins are coming out and you're going through severe detox in these kind of situations, your brain won't be on fire. Your body will feel weak when you're dry fasting at certain points. Once you come out of it, it's okay, but going through, I know what it's like to have no energy. And I when I did my 7.5 day dry fast this time, more or less last November, on the 7th day, just before I broke it, I did some exercise, just a couple of push-ups, maybe 20 or 30, and that's really stupid, because that's almost like what you did with like when you're going through healing and you're going to work. My body literally told me, don't ever do that again. I had to go to bed and sleep, and I was fine before that, and I learned a lesson. Don't, when you're fasting and stuff and doing these cleansing works, be careful how much you take on. And this is why we build communities of health retreats. We tell people to do this in the privacy of your own home, fasting, all the extreme stuff that we're doing, the detox, the looking inward. It's hard to look inward and do all these things when we're supposed to be maintaining an outward lifestyle. So we've got to be careful, like you said, of when, where we're doing it, and do it slowly. The way to mitigate that is to do it slowly, like we said. Do it. Don't rush into things. Time is on your side. If you rush into things as well, you're going to miss the lessons. That's one thing I found. When I rushed into it and went too fast onto things and did too much, I missed the lessons and I went backwards. So I'd rather keep going forwards slowly than rushing. Take my time. Time's on our side.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to also get up as well a little bit earlier, to just transition slowly, because we are here on planet Earth to play. It's a game, and why rush into it while we can enjoy it? And it's also like kind of like spiritual suicide because we have a certain lifestyle, and if we just jump into it, we will get perhaps unhappy with our life, what we are doing, like instead of just slowly going into it.
Yeah, and it's a long process, and it took me a long time to enjoy the process. Let me tell you, I'm 10 years in. It took me maybe the fifth, sixth year. I was like, I still didn't enjoy it that much. Now I love it, and I still got work to do though. I don't love it all the time. I like it a lot, so I'm never ending. This is never ending work. It's not like tomorrow you're going to be fixed. This is another mentality perhaps we should talk about, like this mentality that you can fix yourself tomorrow, or there's a time when you're just going to fix yourself and it's all over. It's not really about that. It's a lifestyle. It's constantly elevating your consciousness, constantly purifying your body. And to me,
Yes.
my current bias, Niels, is my obsession at the moment. I realize is purifying my mind. So I'm
Yes.
obsessed with duality and suffering. And I believe, like the Buddha said, we all come into the world of suffering and duality. I also think that we can slowly get rid of the defilements in our mind of duality if we put in the work, if we do the dry fasting, grounding, we do the Vipassana meditation. You're huge on meditation. If you do the meditation daily, you can slowly, not tomorrow, no one's going to come in line tomorrow, I'm not stupid, but you can improve on these damages that have been caused, the impurities of the mind with the physical health protocols and the meditation, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I really find, because I've had some experiences on LSD. I've been to a Vipassana meditation, a 10 days retreat where you meditate for 10 hours a day for 10 days. And it's just, I feel like it's the cure for everything, like, to cure, like, addictions. Like, for instance, I went for my Vipassana meditation, and I've been, picking my nails for like ever since I was a child, and I've never like gotten away from it. It's just a habit that I have like programmed into my mind. But when I went for the Vipassana, I didn't touch it at all. It was just imbalance. It was just bliss.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were taking drugs or something on that course at the end of it? Or so a lot of people report that. I'm just wondering if you did. How did you feel when you came out of it? Did you feel much better?
I felt balanced. I felt really good. Like, and no need to like pick my nails, like, because that's usually, I guess, what I do if I'm nervous or overthinking and stuff like that. Then I just do this as a habit. You could compare to like smokers when they are in a stressful situation, or they go to have a smoke, a cigarette to calm themselves down. But I was just in pure balance. I don't know if it was like on drugs.
I know what you mean. It's like a high, but it's also like it feels like it was who you always were. Like when you reach these high states on LSD, on psychedelics, on Vipassana, it's almost like it's not really not you. It's always been you, but you forgot it was you, and now you're experiencing you again. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. So I really think, like, just to sum up some things, like going into this health journey, first of all, get an iridology. Second of all, you can do some tests of the pH level of your own urine, and do comparisons as you go through the journey, as well as instead of rushing into do dry fasting, do a liquid diet for at least a week, and you will actually be surprised to see how much feces, how much garbage you have in your gut, in your colon, intestines. And after that, you can flush your gut with a lot of coconut water, with a lot of urine, urine, at least 1 week, because as you said, like after 1 week, the pH level go from acidity to like to 9. So it's very high, it's very alkaline, full of negative ions. And I also want to just give some words upon negative ions, because I think when the air has been heavy and dry and stuff like that, maybe during the summer, and suddenly we are having this crazy rain, thunderstorm and stuff, like thunder, and so you wake up the next morning and you just feel all the negative ions, because it has been rebalanced in nature. And so to do these things, iridology, pH level, losing a little bit my train of thought here.
That's all right. Cleaning your colon, getting getting H urine inside your colon. You said negative ions is a really good point too. And you know that the rain is negative ions. So when the rain hits you, that's negative ions. But also, you made a good point. Like when you wake up in the mornings, or even after a nice rain shower, you can smell it in the air. You can literally smell the negative ions coming into your system, and that makes you high. So we shouldn't be like, oh, it's, you know, some people complain about the clouds. I know some, look, me and you, we do a lot of sun gazing between us. You know, we do all kinds midday too. And I know the sun gazing is good, but when it's cloudy, I don't think everyone understands. The sun is very powerful. It comes through the clouds. Rain is good. So you want rain too. But you know, Niels, as well, that something I'm going to talk about a bit in the future is cloud gazing. Have you heard of cloud gazing?
Yeah, I've also been practicing myself too, you know, because also I've been mentioning before in the past, like, you know, the sun is powerful, as you say, shining through everything. It even shines through the windows, so we can, and if we just even look at the plants, you know, they are thriving, you know, outside, even when there are clouds, even behind the window. So there's actually no excuse to just absorb it. It's only about looking up if you're just willing to do it, and just
and look
spend some
where
time with it.
you are now, where me and you are on the windows, we can look up to the clouds. You notice when we're outside, we don't really look. When we're outside doing our thing, out and about, walking the streets, we don't really look up at the clouds. But actually, when we're behind a window, we've got more opportunities to look up at the clouds. And cloud gazing is more like, it's, to me, it's almost, it sounds ridiculous, it's almost as powerful as sun gazing, because the eyes, to me, are the most important receivers of light. And I know you're gonna love this because I love your posts and you remind me all the time about eyes being the most important. Your eyes receive the light to change your health, right? Everything's important. Skin's important too. We're down with nudism. We're down with as much skin. So when you look up to the clouds, the light comes from above. So you're going to get more medicine in a short space of time if you do some cloud gazing. Yeah, that's right. You look straight up to the clouds. When I did some today, when I was grounded, I looked right up, tilted my head up, went, whoa, okay. And when I came to 5 seconds, when I came down, I felt woozy, but not in a bad way. I felt like high. I was like, whoa, what happens if I do 10 seconds? Went up, tilted my head up, did 10 seconds. I was like, okay, I'm getting high again. It's like taking drugs. I don't know, it's just me, but I feel like I'm taking drugs when I do cloud gazing.
Yeah, that sounds really amazing. And so funny, right? We just, you know, we talk about a lot of things. You want to say something, and you just
that happens to me all the time. Like you have a chain of thought, and then someone's like, oh shit, I forgot my chain of thought.
Yeah, like, you know, yes, exactly. We are, you know, we are a manifestation of nature, of Mother Earth. Like, so if we walk away from nature, we are in for trouble. You know, never mess with nature. It's only if one tries to manipulate and mess with nature, then that's just the opposite direction. Like, we are a manifestation of water, so we need clean water. We are a manifestation of light. And if it wasn't for the sun, there wouldn't be any life here on planet Earth. And so the sun, it contains all the energy, frequency, and vibration that our vessel, that our soul reside in, requires, actually. And I've also been reading, you know, scientific studies of people that are practicing sun gazing. They have the pineal gland, the middle of the brain inside, that are in control of our hormones and stuff like that. You know, people practicing sun gazing every day, their pineal gland, their third eye, is 4 times bigger than those who don't.
Yes, that's powerful what you said there. Thanks for reminding me. I saw your post today, and I used to know that, and sometimes I need reminding too, because I forget. Yeah, it does definitely make. They've done studies and they cut them open. I think there was regular sun gazers, and when they died, they cut open their brain to prove, and actually their pineal was. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, double the size is pretty crazy. You're talking about 3 to 4 times the size of a normal pineal. That just shows. Do you know what that shows to me? It shows to me that everyone is at a lower range of frequency, and sun gazing is one of those mechanisms that sun gazing is healthy, and it's one of those mechanisms that wakes you up. So of course, if your pineal is bigger, what do you think that's going to happen? It's going to make you smarter, cleverer, higher consciousness, more compassionate, more real, more reality based, right?
Yeah, and it's because we are all, you know, awareness. We are, you know, consciousness. We are gods. And so I think also as well, the smaller the pineal gland is, the less connection we have to consciousness, to our, you could say, psychic abilities, because the universe is one, it's all connected, and we are part of it. So it's really our superpower.
Yeah.
Like, it's really powerful to
do you know what? I think that's where the conspiracy comes into it. So they tell us two things. Urine therapy is a waste product, and two,
yes,
don't look at the sun. And I believe that don't look at the sun is directly linked to the fact that the elites in the matrix know that that sungazing makes your pineal bigger, and they don't want that, because they don't want you to feel yourself, true compassion, true consciousness. They don't want you. They want to feel you. They want to dumb you down. You know, like they do with fluoride. I believe that's true too. So they put fluoride in the water. But also, if they tell you not to look at the sun, guess what? You're never going to grow that pineal unless you do urine therapy. But you won't do urine therapy because they tell you that's a waste too. So you're in trouble.
I think that's a good point you bring up there. Like, it's really something that society is really good at, to train us to believe that our internal fluids, our internal liquid, is a waste product. So but then we are just telling ourselves we are just waste.
Yeah.
Like, what is up with that?
It's a mind fuck, Niels. And do you know what I don't understand? I can't seem to believe that it's an accident either. I've tried to go down the accident route, and it's just a coincidence that all these things that are really powerful, that will seek our connection with our true selves and realize we're all one, actually, underneath it all these things that are going to do it, they're telling us the opposite. And I'm 100% like, you know, it's deliberate conspiracy. And why they're doing it, I don't know. I don't know why.
It's also really something that I've been going a lot into, like realizing myself is not to listen to others, but to listen to myself, to do the work that needs to be done. Because, well, you can fly an airplane, but if you haven't learned the basics before it, then you're just gonna crash. So it's really about,
or if you learn the manual of how to fly an airplane, but you've never been in a simulator, what good are you? How do you even know how to, you just read the books, mate. You're not living life. You should actually do the flying the plane before you speak about a subject and badly. Don't read the books and go, oh, I know.
Yeah, exactly. As you mentioned, like, to actually get the experience before, talking about it. And so that's basically the trap a lot of people, they go into. They just say, oh, this is bad, this is not good, and you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. You're just fearful about it, instead of just being in the present moment. Just, okay, let's try it out. Let's actually see, is it really true?
Yeah.
And try it from all perspectives.
And what we love about dry fasting, sungazing, urine therapy, and grounding, and all these things is you can try them out for free. Yeah, all the things we just mentioned we can try out for free. Coconut water costs a little bit, but it's still cheap. All this stuff for free, so you can prove to yourself whether it works or not. So it's not like, oh, I need to pay loads of money for this. We are our own scientists. We are our own body. This is our vessel. Our consciousness is our responsibility. No one's going to enlighten us. No one's going to improve our consciousness. You can help me. I can help you, but I can't hold your hand and make you do it. As the Buddha said, I can't make you enlightened. You have to walk your path yourself. You have to be open-minded, try, test, and then you'll realize. For example, Niels, I'm sure you've experienced it. When I go on dry fasting or any kind of fasting, I seem to have at certain points more energy than if I was eating even fruits. And that makes me think, in my mind, it changes my mindset from, actually, people have been telling me before fasting is dangerous. Why do I have more energy when I'm empty than when I eat even good foods? And then I start questioning. When I start questioning, my mindset changes. Then I realize the truth. I get close to the truth. Oh, my vessel doesn't need much to function. It needs urine. It needs nothing. And all this stuff. And then the changing process begins. Then you join up with people on Facebook. You make friends like we do. We network. You meet up people and you do Vipassana retreats. You go on holistic health retreats. And you talk to people that understand your experiences. You share experiences. We're learning from each other now. People watching are learning. And then we become the best version of ourselves slowly and start enjoying our journey. And yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's like, we are part of nature. We are part of the universe, and there is a certain power, a certain frequency that keeps it all going. It's just there. It's just working, and there is no need to explain it. It just works. It's just there, and we are feeding off of this energy because it's everywhere. Like, energy is never destroyed; it merely transforms. And so we can utilize this energy. Of course, I really think one thing that I've, experienced is like I was doing a breatharian initiation workshop and trying a lot of dry fasting, but I also ate a lot of fruit beforehand. And
Mhm.
so I was having a lot of feces inside me and not having had bowel movements for like, I don't know, 10 days. Then I felt like really bad, real low on energy. And then I went for a colonic treatment to flush it all out. And then I was like, I was just having so much more energy because
Mhm.
it's basically if we are like feeling weak, if we are low on energy, it's really about the body trying to process a lot of things that are not supposed to be within. So
Yeah.
the cleaner we get, the lighter we become, and the
Yep.
less we have inside, the more energy we'll have because we all thrive on life force energy, and it's a and you can call it oxygen,
Mhm.
pH level,
Prana. Yeah.
prana, yeah.
You know, you touched on a really good point as well. Like, if look at diseases, the thousands of diseases, those are just indications to your body. The divine source has given you, your creation has given you an indication to let you know something's not right. There's a blockage somewhere in your body that will manifest as a disease. That's good because that means now you could got the opportunity to change. You can go and do these things. You can go and clean your gut. As above, so below.
Yeah,
You look after the brain, it looks after the gut. The gut looks after everything. The gut is every single organ seems to have reflexology points for everything else. My face, my gut, everything, but especially the
yeah,
gut. The gut is, do you know what? The gut, and I love your focus on this, the gut is probably, if I was going to say what is on average the most unhealthiest organ in every single person, on average the most unhealthiest and disgusting, I would probably say the colon above all else.
exactly. Because also when I did my iridology analysis, she could see like because around my pupils the black dots.
Mm,
That is basically your gut, your colon, intestines around it.
mm,
So it's really like blurry and dark and like a lot of things. And so we have a lot of old feces, toxins, we have mucus, and also mucoid plaque because
yes.
it basically gets onto your intestines
Mm,
because that's where our intestines is where absorption of nutrients comes from when we eat food. And
mhm.
so if it's all blocked, which is for 99% of the population because we're eating grains, dairy,
Yeah.
pasta,
And it's not
processed.
our fault. It's as children, our parents gave it to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So we are basically feeding ourselves a lot of food frequencies that um, mimics, you could say, glue, and it glues like on our intestines, blocking us from absorbing the nutrients. So we require to eat a lot more, and then we just get into a state of like toxicity because we eat too much.
Yeah, I could talk forever to you about this. I love the conversation, by the way, on colons and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, like look at what you just said. Like if there's mucoid plaque because we're eating crappy foods over a lifetime, probably most
yeah,
of us, if it haven't cleansed, have got 20-year-old like childhood mucoid plaques. That's also, like you said, stopping nutrients getting in because they happen through the small and large intestines. Constantly, even the large intestines, nutrients are being blocked, which is key.
yeah,
What do you think that's doing? Is it poisoning the blood, maybe giving you toxemia? Is that ruining your health, giving you lack of energy, weighing you
yeah,
down? You've got like 20 pounds of feces, if you believe Arnold Ehret. Everyone's got 20. That was in 1910. 20 pounds of feces or something. 10 pounds of feces every human's got. I mean, even
yeah.
me and you, do you know what? I think even me and you, even though we do a lot of work, and by the way, you touched base on colonics, which is really powerful. Everyone should do, and I've been procrastinating on that too. I've done one in my life. I need to do
Can I
more.
ask you one thing? Just
Mm.
slow down a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I'm getting too excited. So colonics, I think everyone should do one, and I definitely will at some point in the future. I've done one and I need to do more, but I think people like me and you have got even though we clean ourselves a lot, we've still got, I seem to be still pulling, and I'm sure you're the same, we still seem to be pulling age-old feces and from a long time ago out of the system,
Yeah.
which goes to show just how much crap is there in there. How there's a lot of crap in the in it gets caught up and it gets released.
Yeah, exactly. It's like for me personally, as I've been going through the detox journey, healing journey, being on a fruit diet, and I was eating, I would tell you like many kilos every day because I didn't know better, but
Mm,
to really clean my gut to get the old stuff out.
mhm.
But it's like I have noticed as I have progressed over time, my mind up here it has become a lot becomes more peaceful.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it would seem like our our moods, like our mood and how we feel, is directly connected to our gut. And
Yeah.
so when we have all this mucoid plaque, we all have all these old feces, old toxins residing within. It basically as well gets reabsorbed.
Yeah.
So you could say, like, there's a lot of people there. Is it called chronic disease? Like, or what was it?
I guess so. Chronic diseases. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you have an ailment and it's just there. It never stops because we are having so many toxins residing within, continually being absorbed into our bloodstream, into our body, into our whole being. So that's also why I highly encourage people to go on a liquid diet and clean out the gut. That's the first and main foremost. And of course, you can only go as far as you're willing to go, because we are, as well, another point I want to point out is that we are so addicted to everything has to be comfortable and joyful and good experiences. But like I said, like, we want pro-life. We don't want antibiotics into our vessel. It just makes it even worse. So the best probiotic is actually our own urine and aged urine, because it's clean, it's been filtered through our organs. And so, yeah, we can do 5 liters of coconut water to flush our gut, but it doesn't provide the probiotics, the bacteria and stuff that our gut really requires.
Like aged urine does. Aged urine definitely has got those probiotics.
Exactly. And so it's and also there's also a lot of people I have noticed, they take all kinds of supplements to clean out their gut, and some of them, they are like very careful, because they know aged urine is very powerful, so they don't want to take too much. But I would say, I just said to myself, fuck that, I'm just gonna go all the way and just drink 1 to 1.5 liter and just flush it out, because that will essentially, that's the most powerful substance as well to deal with the mucoid plaque. And so we will all basically thrive a lot more once all this dirt is out, and it will make it a lot easier to go into dry fasting.
Exactly, bro. And you touched on so many things again. So people that take supplements, I'm not too much against supplements, but like you said, there's things that are more powerful, and definitely aged urine. I'm like you. I'm all for like taking it slow, but at the same time, you really do want to clean your gut up kind of quickly, because it's so years behind in terms of its healing and damage. So we need to do things like, I don't know, taking like a top-down enema, like you said, like taking a lot of aged urine. You could even do less if you want, and get a syringe or get an enema bag and go right for the colon the other way around.
Exactly.
Bottoms up colon. That's powerful. And the aged urine, for example, will show you how powerful it is and how damaged your colon is, because probably if you're like me and you and other people, you won't be able to hold aged urine of a couple of weeks old in too long. And the reason why is because your colon is inflamed and damaged from all the cooked foods you've ate. So another indication of how you're healing is if you can actually hold your aged urine in for longer. And what people find is they can hold distilled water in for a long time, fresh urine. Yeah, that's because it's good medicine, but it's not very powerful. But if you did something really powerful, you won't be able to hold it in long. And it's not a bad sign. It just means your colon is regenerating, but it's been damaged a lot. So there's indications of how your colon is getting better. But one thing I've noticed is you must remain consistent. If you're gonna go for these things, like do your top down or bottoms up enemas, like not once a week or month. Do it regularly to gain some momentum, or do fasting regularly. Don't go backwards in your health, and really try your best.
I would, in order to like make it a little bit light, it would actually to do it like perhaps once a week, flushing from top to bottom by drinking down a lot, because we can do, like you said, we can do enemas, but it doesn't take care of the whole system. Like when we shut down a lot, and then it just goes through the whole system.
No, that's true too. Like top-down enemas have a good thing, because they're going to go into the bloodstream too, and so there's benefits to the top-down that the bottoms up won't. However, what I love about the bottoms-up enema is that it's going to go straight to the liver, so it doesn't just clean your colon out, your rectum. It goes into, and you can literally heal your liver. That's why people say coffee enemas seem to boost your liver function. So you know what I say with medicine. this is a bit generic, maybe a bit rude to other people, but I say any hole will do. So get your aged urine, get your fruits, get your distilled water. Any hole will do. You can massage your skin with distilled water if you don't like urine. Definitely massage your fresh urine on your skin. If you don't like aged urine, the smell, don't do that. But get aged urine and drink it. There's so many options of how we can get medicine into our body. It's not just like through the mouth. People think it's just through the mouth. No, I can go take it through the nose, I can take it up the bum, I can do it through the skin, I can massage it over my kidneys if I've got weak kidneys. You know, there's loads of options.
Yes, exactly.
Isn't it? You were going to ask me a question that I'd love to talk about. You said I'd like to know your opinion too. So I'll ask you first, actually. If you could go back in time, Niels, so you've been with this journey 1.5 years. If you could go back and rewind, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
That's a very good question. I'm glad that you're bringing it up.
I asked it because you asked me to me, and I realized that I'd really like someone to ask me that, so I thought you'd like it too. I want to know your answer. Yeah,
exactly. For me personally, I would, if I was to start all over again from the beginning, like 1.5 years ago, I would definitely start out with doing a liquid diet, at least for 1 or 2 weeks, because like 4 liters a day, just basically to clean out most of the feces that resides within my gut, as well as to flush it with aged urine, because there's a lot of stem cells in it, and so it's really rejuvenating, and there's oxygen as well that really allows the body to heal and clean itself. And
just a quick one. When you take aged urine, do you feel your breath slow down? Do you feel like the oxygen, the high?
That's a very good question. But yeah, I do feel like I'm getting warmer. Like, you know, more heating up, getting more energy. But I would definitely liquid diet, clean my gut, and do it with aged urine. And then, I would continue just to do some more liquid diet to just clean up a lot of stuff.
Meditation, would you?
As well as meditation, at least for like half an hour every day to like acquire some balance within the body. But so after having done liquid diet, colon cleansing, then I would go into dry fasting. Before going too much into urine therapy, because there's a lot of from cooked processed foods, salt and stuff like that, it makes the and meat as well, it makes the urine smell and taste very bad. So of course it's not because it's required to do urine therapy or loop it or drink it or anything like that, but it's just very powerful to clean and heal the body, so it's a good supplement to it. But I would definitely do that, and of course continue to clean out my gut. I think that it's very simple actually. So but also during this time, I want to point out is that I would of course do sungazing every morning, every evening, or whenever it's possible, because even today I'm so used to it, like and yet usually we have weeks on end without any sun because there are clouds. But I'm so comfortable doing sungazing now. I just do it midday and I don't even bother. Like I haven't had any bad experiences. Like it burns my eyes or anything. It's effortless. It's nature, and nature is not there to harm us. It's there to upgrade us and elevate us and do good for us. So that's that. And I would also, especially something else, is to do breath exercises, because if we breathe, we die. You know, the body stops to function. So it's really powerful. It's essential that we bring in oxygen, because there are even people saying that detox is 80% breathing, because that's where life comes from. If you stop breathing, you die. So juice fasting, cleaning the guts, going into dry fasting to eliminate, you could say, the worst taste and smell from your urine, and just continue on the fruit diet, the liquid diet, Do sun gazing and sunbathing as well. Go as naked as possible. And do breath exercises, and you can even combine doing breath exercises and sun gazing, and you can also do it with closed eyes because it still penetrates through the eyes. So just basically just fall in love with nature, with the air, with the sun, with fruits and stuff like that, liquids, and dry fasting to just, you know, get all the crap out. So it's very easy, it's very simple, it's effortless actually, but also we got to be aware there is we will accommodate a lot of detox symptoms, but the worst can actually be dealt with by doing this simple protocol, because you become what you eat, or what you put into your stomach. You know, you will feel it up here in your mood and with your mood swings, and you will also get, also what I've noticed along the breatharian work, breatharian journey on liquid diet, is that I would get cravings or feel like I want to eat something because it's getting uncomfortable in my stomach, basically because feces and toxins are moving through.
Even parasites too, as well.
Yeah, even parasites, and that's also why I highly encourage urine, because it's just gonna flush out the parasites, because they are basically eating all the cooked, processed, dead food, meat and stuff like that. And so they are like, you know, you could call it encourage us to like continue to eat junk. That's why we want to eat junk. It's not because you want to eat junk, but there are living into. Sorry,
your higher self wants to do good, but your lower self, controlled by parasites, does want you to eat junk, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, I think that's basically what I would do differently. And
I loved it. That was great, a summation. And I love the thing you said, to get back to nature and to find out who we really are, is all the things that you've just said are definitely, we're not saying, by the way, I'm not saying, and you're saying, I'm sure these are the only ways. These are ways that we found that are free and seem to work. So, you know, I'm open-minded to new ideas for sure.
Yeah.
We're not dogmatic, but.
And also with what I know today, because I have done it now 2 times, getting into nature and dancing to rave and psytrance, being surrounded by great people, to take LSD, which comes from the tree of life here on planet Earth. So it's very powerful to go within and to observe what is in there, what is happening, to see, to face our fears, our judgments, our old beliefs that we've been taught from society and stuff like that, to just be in the present moment, just go with the flow, don't be scared. Everything is just a story. You are the observer and the writer of your life. So whatever you go into with your mind, you are growing. So if you focus on fear, you become more fearful and scared, rather than just observing and just being grateful for it, accept it for it to be there. Just as well, when we go through the detox, we just gotta be grateful for our body, for what it's doing, because it's doing it for the better good. It's doing because it wants to become healthy and feel good, to feel balanced. That's basically what it's doing. Just like when you scan your computer for viruses, you know, it takes a lot of resources, it takes time, but once it is out, as well as when we dry fast, the body gets to clean up. One, it is out, and we have passed through all the detoxins, all the uncomfortability of the bad side effects. You know, once we get to the other side of the jungle we are moving through, because it can go fast, it can go slow, but once we get there, we will.
You can't imagine how
no. You're just gonna shine and glow. And of course, like, the biggest challenge for me during my detox experience has been because we have acquired so much data and we have a weak body that it requires to break down the old body before we can build up a new and strong, healthy body. So it requires to lose a lot of weight. It requires to look someone who's starving, and you can just see the bones all over and stuff like that. So it's yeah, you can only go as far as you're willing to go, and you will get a lot of judgment from your family, from your co-workers, from everywhere you go. And it only depends on how you perceive yourself in here, that if you're going to have the judgments, and just to stand stand strong in yourself.
Yeah.
Stand strong in self, and just say, I'm doing this for the better good. And yeah.
That is so powerful. I love that mini speech slash rant. That was really beautiful. And one way I look at it too is, listen, you've got a choice. You either don't detox and you keep on putting weight and you don't become skin and bones, but then what happens? The toxins stay in and you will manifest something horrible in a chronic disease, like you said earlier, for a long time.
Yes.
Alzheimer's, dementia, out of a sudden. That doesn't just affect you, that affects everyone around you, you know and love. You're going to get a heart attack, maybe die, heart attack, strokes, all these kind of problems. So you've got a choice. You can either do the work that we talked about, and it will be painful for a short period of time, but then there's bliss on the other side, or you don't do the work now, but you pay the price massively for a long time in the end of your life. And you don't have to. That's the point we're trying to say. You don't have to suffer for that long. You can get it over and done with and enjoy the process. And like you said, Niels, it's really powerful. I don't think people really do understand that the bliss, the Matrix people don't understand the bliss that awaits them. If they did, if they had a little snippet of it, like maybe they took some LSD, they'd have a taste. Maybe if they did a colon cleanse, they'd a colonic, they'd have a taste. They did an enema with aged urine, they'd have a taste. But because they don't have a taste, they often will never do. So
the dancing to rave at psytrance, you know, being on LSD is really what has elevated me to where I am today. Because because I just accepted everything, my body, the world, everything as it is right here, right now, and just going through all of it. And even death, like I had in my mind, I was decomposing into Mother Earth, and it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful to just have that experience and just make peace with everything, because the soul is eternal. It never dies. We never die. We will always be here because there can't be life if there hasn't been life before. So but it's really what elevated me to become where and who I am today. Like, because it gave me that peak of, whoa, I was reaching such a high energy, frequency, vibration. I was like, I want to go there. I'm gonna go there, and I've been going full on ever since.
Yeah, we have, brother, definitely. I'm fucking proud of you, how you've changed so much, and watching you grow on Facebook, and the things that I'm learning from you now. Even though I've been a little bit longer than you, and there's people longer than me that I learn from, and I love watching your journey, and I hope that continues, and I hope that we carry on working together and keep meet each other for sure, and we'll know each other for a long time, which I'm excited to get to know you as a brother and watch us grow in power, in terms of divine masculinity, in terms of our influence, so we can help more people. And I'm looking forward to it.
Same here for me, brother. So this is I think that's it for now. Like I think it's been very great to have you on, and I'm looking forward to have you on again, because there's still a lot of things that I would like to bring up, that I like to talk with you about. And so
definitely, I look forward to a part 2 in the future, where every year or so we're going to grow so much together. And I'm looking forward to you interviewing other people and sharing your experiences and learning from other people, just as I enjoy so much doing these interviews and get so much value connecting with people, because we feel like we're alone, and then when we talk and help each other and learn from each other, we realize we're not. So this has been beautiful, and thank you for having me as your first guest. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and I wish you a beautiful day.
Thanks. Same to you, Niels. Have a good day. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. So